Aye.
Mr. Nadler votes aye. Ms. Lofgren?
Aye.
Ms. Lofgren votes aye. Ms. Jackson-Lee?
Aye.
Mr. Collins?
No.
Mr. Collins votes no. Mr. Sensenbrenner?
No.
Mr. Sensenbrenner votes no. Mr. Shabbat?
Is there every member of the committee who wishes to vote voted? The clerk will report.
Mr. Chairman, there are 23 ayes and 17 noes.
The article is agreed to.
H.Res. 755, impeaching Donald John Trump, President of the United States for high crimes and misdemeanors, in the House of Representatives, December 10, 2019. Mr. Nadler submitted the following resolution, which was referred to the Committee on the Judiciary. Resolution, impeaching Donald John Trump, President of the United States for high crimes and misdemeanors.
This committee has now sounded the death of minority rights in this committee. This committee has become nothing but a rubber stamp. This committee is amazingly now on such a clock and calendar process that they don't care. Facts be damned. They don't care. This is a just travesty and a sham from day one.
This claim that this is the thinnest of evidence is simply not true. There is overwhelming evidence of the existence of a scheme led by the president, led by his personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, to corrupt the American elections, to continue to withhold military aid until such time as a public announcement was made that would smear the president's chief political rival.
There are no crimes here. That is the defense my colleagues across the aisle are putting forward. How about the highest crime that one who holds public office could commit? A crime against our Constitution.
No one on the other side is willing to acknowledge the fraud that brought us here, nor the fact that so many people here have been screaming about the president's crimes, and we're even hearing today, like we just did, oh yes, there were crimes. Well, then why aren't they in this impeachment document?
We know that they don't accept the facts. We know they don't accept the evidence. They don't like the fact that the depositions took place in the basement. Where should they have been? On the first floor? The second floor? Would they accept the facts? If we found some other room, would that be all right? Because their people were there. I was in that room. There were Democrats, there were Republicans. The Democratic counsel got an hour. The Republican counsel got an hour. It was even on both sides. Enough of these phony process objections. Let's get back to the facts of what happened. The President of the United States shook down a foreign power to come and get involved in our election. That's wrong.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This amendment strikes the reference to Joe Biden as the center of the proposed investigation and replaces it with the true topic of the investigation, Burisma and Hunter Biden. An essential element of the Democrats' case on abuse of power is that the Bidens did nothing wrong. Hunter said that at that point, he had not slept for several days. Driving east on Interstate 10 just beyond Palm Springs, he lost control of his car, which jumped the median and skidded to a stop on the shoulder of the westbound side. He called Hertz, which came to collect the damaged car and gave him a second rental. The Hertz rental officer told me he found a crack pipe in the car and on one of the consoles a line of white powder residue.
The pot calling the kettle black is not something that we should do. I don't know what members, if any, have had any problems with substance abuse, been busted in DUI. I don't know. But if I did, I wouldn't raise it.
Mr. Chairman, there are 17 ayes and 23 noes.
The amendment is not agreed to.
Today I'm reminded of Judas. Because Judas, for 30 pieces of silver, betrayed Jesus. For 30 positive tweets for an easy re-election, the other side is willing to betray the American people, their precious right to vote, and the future of our great country. And with that, I yield back.
It has been a long 2 days of consideration of these articles, and it is now very late at night. I want the members on both sides of the aisle to think about what has happened over these last 2 days and to search their consciences before we cast our final votes. Therefore, the committee will now stand in recess until tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., at which point I will move to divide the question so that each of us may have the opportunity to cast up or down votes on each of the articles of impeachment, and to let history be our judge. The committee is in recess.
Mr. Chairman, there was no consulting from the minority ranking member on your schedule for tomorrow, in which you just blown up schedules for everyone. You chose not to consult the ranking member on a schedule issue of this magnitude.
So typical.
This is the kangaroo court that we're talking about.
It's more Stalin-esque than
Unbelievable.
kangaroo,
Not even
actually.
consult.
Just Stalin-esque.